straight into the roof of the net. Nice one. Straight down the middle. So a good performance from both teams here.
Hi, welcome to Firstpost. I'm Rupha Ramani. Let's get started. On the show today, daring to dream seems to be the theme. Gautam Gambhir's post after Kolkata franchise won the Indian Premier League was just 3 words: dare to dream. That's been the motto of the squad after a historic turnaround win, one that came in a decade. But who are the men behind the victory? The Knights who made this a success story. Stories from the dressing room coming your way in just a bit. Also, Charles Leclerc dared to dream big. The Ferrari driver finally won a race this year, and that too at home. But we speak about his emotional journey to get this far, how an innocent lie that he told his father turned into reality, and has seen him realize his father's dreams long after he is no more. And speaking of celebrations, which football club nailed the victory parades this season? What is the story of the origin of a victory parade, and what rides on it? Is there heavy competition between the teams here as well? All of this on the show, but first a look at the headlines in Sports 360. Starting with football, Barcelona announces Hansi Flick as their new manager. Flick will replace sacked Xabi Hernandez in this managerial role. Hansi Flick has signed a contract with Barcelona till June 2026. He's a treble winner with Bayern Munich. He last managed the German national team, where they were knocked out of the tournament in the group stages of the 2022 FIFA World Cup. Over in cricket, England's third T20 international match against Pakistan was abandoned due to rain. It was in Cardiff. England currently lead the 4-match T20 international series 1-0, but only one game has been played so far because of the weather. The fourth and final T20 will be played on 30th May in London. Netherlands stunned Sri Lanka by 20 runs in a T20 World Cup warm-up match in Florida. Netherlands posted a target of 181 and successfully defended it. Sri Lanka faltered in their run chase, getting dismissed for 161 runs. Sri Lanka faces South Africa on the 3rd of June, and Netherlands take on Nepal on the 4th. This is in their World Cup openers. Over in tennis, and the French Open, men's world number 1 Novak Djokovic began his title defense with a straight set victory in the first round. Over in the women's draw, Elina Rybakina eased past Greet Minen to enter round 2. The 2022 Wimbledon champion registered a straight set victory. Over in football, Manchester City midfielder Kevin De Bruyne will lead Belgium at the Euros. Their coach officially announced the 25-man squad. Thibaut Courtois has been excluded as he continues to recover from injuries. Atletico midfielder Axel Witsel makes his comeback. He was dropped from the squad last year, resulting in him announcing an international retirement. And in NBA, Minnesota Timberwolves defeated the Dallas Mavericks 105-100 in match number 4 to keep their Western Conference series alive. Anthony Edwards scored 29 points in Timberwolves' victory. Heading into match 4, Minnesota Timberwolves were trailing 3-0 in a best-of-the-7 series. The series is now nicely poised at 3-1 with 3 more matches to go. When a team that has Gautam Gambhir as mentor wins an IPL trophy after a decade, it's easy to put a face to this turnaround. Gautam Gambhir surely spearheaded the vision for KKR 2.0, and the world continues to celebrate this triumph. The Burj Khalifa, in fact, lit up in Kolkata colours, showing images of the key men who brought about this historic win. But it's not just them who are responsible for what Kolkata Knight Riders have gone on to achieve. And you would have sensed so by the snatches of conversations by all the players, or whether it was the tweets, the pictures that they put up, the tiny gestures. Based on my conversations with a lot of the team members, I should give you some idea of who did what behind the scenes to ensure this squad triumphed. Of course, it had the pedigree. Gautam Gambhir, a seasoned campaigner in Indian cricket, as mentor. Chandrakant Pandit, someone who's shown results at the domestic circuit, but this squad showed heart. I will have to start with Abhishek Nair. The man who in many ways has been responsible for Dinesh Karthik's resurgence in international cricket. He's been a fabulous mentor to the Kolkata franchise. His work was not just during the season. He worked tirelessly way before this season started with every single Indian player who's part of the Kolkata franchise. He held one-on-one sessions with everyone to strengthen what he believed was the core of the franchise, the key to their success. He worked at the KKR Academy without a break. The Indian players formed a bond around him. Next, Bharat Arun. One of the most technically sound coaches worked with the Indian Pacers to help them however he could. And that was his contribution. He shaped a lot of the players there with just his presence. Next up, Carl Crowe. One of the most jovial coaches in the sporting staff, a spin bowling specialist. He sat for hours and hours, practically every day, working with the lead spinners, Sunil Narine and Varun Chakravarti, and a few others, studying batters that they would face, and made plans on how they could approach these batters and what would work best for them. The man assisting him often, of course, was Ryan ten Dishkarte. Tendo, as he's fondly called, a former captain himself of Netherlands cricket team. Tendo on paper is a fielding coach, but he did anything and everything that was asked of him. He was there whenever anyone needed him. He worked tirelessly with everyone towards their dream of winning the championship. He was their everyday man, and that was important. Next up, Srikanth. The scout who's always been studying talent and going about trying to see what he can do best and to help them contribute to this team and their performance. One of Srikanth's biggest ploys, which has really paid off so well this year, was to get Sunil Narine to open the batting, and boy did it work. His door at the hotel would always be open with food, advice and a helping hand to anyone or any player who wanted it. And they were allowed to walk in and discuss their game set, their mind at any given point. I have to here talk about one of the biggest influences on the team, the owner, Shahrukh Khan. He's a superstar that we all can see. The swag, the demeanor, the charm and grace. He can carry himself off so very well at any stage, even if he isn't familiar with it. And this year, Shahrukh Khan was there in his elements. You could never really tell if Kolkata was losing or winning. He was there hugging them all, kissing them and doing his movie theatrics for all to lap up and cherish. He met every single player in his squad and also knew everything about each of them. He met their families, especially Rinku Singh, who he holds very close to his heart, a player from the humblest of starts. Shahrukh Khan made sure he met Rinku's family. He led the team photo at the end of the final by urging everyone to blow a kiss Harshit Rana style, the same thing that the bowler got fined for, in fact. It's a small little gesture by Shahrukh Khan, but it spoke volumes of the owner backing every single one in his franchise, being behind them all. Shahrukh Khan is everywhere, and yet he decides to stay away from all the cricket alone. That's only Gambhir and his team's prerogative, not Shahrukh Khan's. He ensured the CEO, Venki Mysore, was there to liaison. For Shahrukh Khan himself, truly it's been a magical journey from where he started as team owner to now. Because let's face it, IPL is intense. Owners feel the pressure. It gets to them in more ways than one. Defeat is not easy to grapple with for those who don't know what everyday failures could mean, like sports persons do. It's a part of their journey, dealing with success and failures constantly. Some owners, like Sanjeev Goenka, the owner of Lucknow franchise, took it out rather harshly. Some, like Kavya Maran of the Hyderabad franchise, broke down in tears. She was emotional after losing the final. It's not easy. Owner's job is just as hard, to hold on, yet somehow let go. It's a tightrope walk. They say familiarity breeds contempt. I think it was just the opposite for Kolkata. Shahrukh Khan and Gautam Gambhir understand each other all too well for this formula not to have worked. They decided to come back and be in each other's faces so much so that it only created magic. Former cricketer Ambati Rayudu said orange and purple caps don't win you IPL trophies. He couldn't be more right. It's a vision. It's playing like a team, being like a team, and being one. And that doesn't come from just the 11 or 12 players out there, but also those behind the scenes who hold the seams in place and stitch a positive, winning narrative for everyone to fall back on. In the world of Formula One, there are stories of triumph and perseverance, and then there is the story of Charles Leclerc. Born in Monaco, a place where the streets echo with the roar of engines during the Grand Prix. Not surprisingly, Charles Leclerc and his father dreamed of him making it big on the Formula One stage. And it seems quite coinciding that I'm wearing red today. So it was redemption, though, for Leclerc when he finally won his home Grand Prix, when he won his first race this year, despite being on 5 pole positions, ending his curse, so to say, on the track. But our story today isn't about the Monaco GP or how he won the race. It's about how he got here, how an innocent lie to make his father happy came true, but his father was not there to see him realize their dreams together. It's a story of resilience and truly dreaming big, a reiteration that if we dare to dream, they will just come true.
Charles Leclerc's destiny seems written in the stars. Born in the country of the trickiest Grand Prix circuit, Monaco, Leclerc's passion was Formula One. And it was fitting when Leclerc clinched the home Grand Prix over the weekend, a race that has eluded him for years. Despite finishing in the top 3 on 3 of the last 4 Monaco Grand Prix, Leclerc had never won the race, almost thinking it was the curse of the home race, one that he finally broke when he registered his first victory in 2 years. This one was sweet, but not as special as his journey to Formula One. The Ferrari driver could not hold back his emotions after the victory. He remembered his late father on the day.
I have to say that I was thinking about my dad at this moment. That was my thought while driving. Obviously, he has given everything for me to be here. It was a dream of ours for me to race there and to win. So it's a miracle.
He fulfilled the dream of his father, who passed away in 2017. Back then, Leclerc hadn't even embarked on his Formula One career. He was doing the rounds of the Formula 2 division.
He passed away a year before I got into Formula One. It was very difficult because unfortunately I hadn't signed my Formula One contract. But I had lied to him 2 days before he passed away, and I told him, listen, I signed my Formula One contract. The year was going well. I was quite confident that this would happen. but I also knew it was a matter of days before he would pass away.
Leclerc lied to his father about getting an F1 contract, a lie that literally started his career in Formula 1. Because just a month later, he signed a contract with Formula 1 team Sauber. While Leclerc still carries the regret of his father not seeing him drive in Formula 1, he was happy that the lie he told to his father indeed turned into reality. Leclerc's Monaco victory was indeed emotional. More than the triumph and the podium finish, it felt like the fruition of all that he and his father had dreamt for him. And while he was still 2 laps away from victory, Leclerc could sense that he was on the verge of creating history. He choked back emotions, reminded himself that the job was not done yet, and went on to finish. With this win, Leclerc is the first Monegasque to win the Monaco Grand Prix in 93 years. The last to do so was Louis Chiron in 1931. But for someone like Leclerc, just being a driver was not enough. Racing for Sauber, Leclerc faced adversity on and off the track. But he remained resilient, always telling himself to keep going on. Then came the opportunity of a lifetime, a seat with Scuderia Ferrari in 2019. A team steeped in F1 legacy, a team every driver wants to race for. For Leclerc, it was a dream come true, something he and his father had wished for. And with Ferrari, Leclerc found a new sense of purpose. He was no longer just a driver. He was a symbol of hope and resilience for the team and fans alike. Race after race, he proved his worth on the track. In his 5th season with Ferrari, Leclerc has won 5 races and has finished on the podium on 18 occasions. This includes his Australian Grand Prix victory in 2022. But of all the seasons, 2024 would have to be Leclerc's redemption year, because it has been a year of almost there but not quite. He took pole positions in 5 out of the 8 races but never managed to win any of them. So Monaco is a placeholder in the journey that he and his father dreamt of. And to be able to realize it at his home Grand Prix was indeed redemption. It was here that he faced his demons, conquered his fears and emerged victorious. As the national anthem of Monaco echoed through the streets, Leclerc stood tall, a champion in every sense of the word. And he knows it's just the beginning, because his journey is far from over.
The open road, the roar of the crowd, and the sweet taste of victory. Massive crowds spilling on the streets, stopping all traffic, the city coming to a standstill, music, everyone singing and chanting in harmony, an energy and vibe like no other. Pints of beer flowing, cigars being lit up, confetti from the top, and buzz that is unmatched. I'm not talking about a live music concert such as Sunburn, nor describing a political rally of a newly appointed president. It's the football tradition of an open-top bus parade, or famously referred to as the Victory Parade, a time-honored tradition where champions become kings of the asphalt and fans paint the town in their team's colors. A tradition that has been passed on, and what a sight it truly is. From the blue of Manchester and Milan to the red and black of Leverkusen, or the traditional white confetti in Madrid, these parades are more than just a victory lap or color and chaotic celebrations. So why a victory parade, and what does it signify? When did it start? Well, it's a chance for fans to come together and bask in the glory of their team's success. Because as we know, in football particularly, fans are almost investors of a club. They are important shareholders in the team's fortunes and failures. They are there through thick and thin, win or loss. So naturally, a victory parade is a sort of like a homage to the fan. From the glitz and glamour-filled extravaganza to the raw energy of a street party, each team brings its own flavor to a victory parade. Now, when did this tradition start though? This need for a pomp and show to announce after the event or the win and show the silverware off in all its glory. Now, it isn't something that started just a few years or even a few decades ago. It all began way back in 1889 when English football club Preston North End decided to cruise through the town in style to show off their win. They were coming off their domestic double, a massive achievement even back then, of league title and the FA Cup victory. So how did they parade? No horse-drawn carriages for these boys. They wanted the world to know they were champions. So out came an idea of an open bus show, and why not? It was their first title. That image has stuck and marking the start of what we now call a tradition. Club Preston indeed gave birth to the idea of an open bus parade to celebrate the title wins. We all know the irony here though. It may be a while before Preston themselves have their own victory parade today, because as of now the club is languishing in second division of the English football. But hey, they will always be proud of having started the coolest tradition of open bus parades, the most epic form of any celebration. An act that has been borrowed by other sporting disciplines too. The Indian cricket team did an open bus parade for the very first time after a young MS Dhoni led his side to a 2007 T20 World Cup win. Mumbai was flooded, literally, with fans and the rains. It was a rainy, slushy day, but none of that dampened the mood or the spirits of all the fans gathered there. The parade was a historic one. March forward, in 2019, basketball side Toronto Raptors celebrated their maiden NBA title with great pomp. The champions smoked cigars, sprayed champagne on screaming fans who were gathered there. The crowd, in fact, swarming the bus that had to crawl through the streets, putting them almost 3 hours behind schedule, but all for fun, and it was good. And just last year, about 1 million people gathered at NFL side Kansas City Chiefs victory parade last year. Fans lined up along the parade routes early, long before the sunrise, to be part of the Chiefs parade. But in football, over the years, the parade has only become more and more vibrant. The celebrations only crazier. This year itself, we saw some insane victory parades. Manchester City did one recently, of course, but they've had some incredible celebrations over the last 4 years. Their players may be keeping every opponent on their toes through the marvelous footwork on the field, but when it comes to victory parades, the footwork, among many things, has gone for a bit of a toss. Jack Grealish last year in his elements, and this year too it was no different. The English winger almost fell off the bus twice during the parade. And if we talk about City, how can we not talk about Pep Guardiola? The man recreates his thug life moments whenever he gets the chance, whether it's on the field, in press conferences, but he saves the best for the victory parades. But it wasn't just City that had a gala time this year. Spanish champions Real Madrid also celebrated. Had a more somber celebration though. Unlike City's bad boys, the Madrid players were high on victory. One man though knew how to soak it all in, and that was their manager, Ancelotti. I wonder who did it best, but maybe Madrid is saving the best for a possible second parade. They still have the chance of lifting the Champions League trophy when they face Dortmund. But speaking of letting loose, if anyone knows how to celebrate, it's the Germans. No surprises there. Bayer Leverkusen's victory parade was proof of that. One man was enough to set the celebration on fire, the talismanic manager, Xabi Alonso. massive crowd in the city of Leverkusen, clearly showing what this season meant for the club. I've got to give it to Leverkusen. If anyone can justify the tag, we play hard and party harder, it has to be Alonso and his boys. They started unbeaten for 50-plus straight games, and boy, did they decide to let their hair down finally after an electrifying season. But wait, we aren't done just yet. Italian champions Inter Milan made quite the statement this year. Last year, AC Milan fans silenced Inter with their wild celebrations. So when Inter won the title this year, they had to return the favour. So clearly the rivalry isn't just restricted to football. How clubs celebrate a triumph on the field with the parade off it is important too, to show who's boss and to basically rub it in. I think that's the larger point. And what is a victory parade if it doesn't go crazy? Ask Lionel Messi and Argentina. After their 2022 World Cup triumph, the streets of Buenos Aires was flooded. They had to abandon the victory parade as the city came to a grinding halt, and the players and support staff had to be airlifted through a helicopter. What was your favorite victory parade this year, and have you been a part of anyone, anywhere? Let us know. Time for last serve. There may be a massive jam en route to the Everest, but some have managed to beat all to reach the top. We spoke about record-breaking Sherpa guide Kamirita, the miracle man who climbed the Everest for the 30th time. He was honored by the Nepal government at the Everest Day celebration. Take a look at the heartwarming pictures. What an achievement, and what a way to recognize someone who's been doing this year on end. 30th time, really, it's no joke, not easy getting that across. But that does it here on Firstpost. I'll see you again tomorrow. Till then, take care.
South Africa's May 29th elections.
It was a start of change in the country.
We are on the verge of history.
I am standing here at the forefront of change, where voices echo the call for action. The nation grapples with an unemployment crisis. As South Africans prepare to cast their votes, the question looms: will the winds of change usher in a new era, or will the legacy of the past maintain its grip on the future?